Sorry for sorry for anybody that had a challenge getting on the meeting tonight. We had a little snafu with our meeting ID and our flyer. We were apparently a number off, so I apologize. We, are human too. So I'm very excited. This is probably my favorite meeting of the year. I love to learn about camps and all the summer things and activities that are available for our kiddos. And we found some new ones this year, so I'm super excited about that. So I am just going to, we made a handy dandy little spreadsheet, and I'm just going to start from there. Is camp, I'm gonna butcher this. Killua? Miss Garcia?
Camp Killaqua?
Thank you, Killua. I knew I was gonna butcher it.
Oh, let's check.
Oh, is that for Camp Discovery from the Epilepsy Foundation?
Yes, I had Killua in Stanwood.
So that's where we're gonna have the camp, but our camp is called Camp Discovery. So
Okay,
that's
sorry about that.
no, it's okay. Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know if that was me or if that was someone else. Like I was like, that sounds familiar, but yeah, our camp is called Camp Discovery, and that's part of the Epilepsy Foundation. But
Would
that
you
yeah,
mind turning your camera on?
yes, one moment.
How do I say your first name, by the way?
Dritsa.
Jaritza. Okay, thank you for helping me with that as well. I'm very excited you guys could come because I think a lot of times kiddos have epilepsy and along with other disabilities. So I was really excited that you guys could come. So please share with us all about your lovely camp.
Yeah. So our camp, let me pull up our information real quick. So our camp is available for kids ages 7 through 16. And they have to have epilepsy. This camp is for kids with epilepsy. It is free of charge. And it is free to one sibling. Their sibling doesn't need to have epilepsy. And then so typically we do have some campers who do have other special requirements that they aren't able to be out on their own. We usually have parents or adults with epilepsy who are who usually just accompany them to be with them if they need extra attention and things like that. We've had a couple of campers in the past like that, but usually for the most part we have some volunteers, and we have nurses 24/7. We have medical staff 24/7. We have access to a provider if they need any questions, and just in case anyone has a seizure, they're all seizure first aid trained, all our volunteers. This year we did change locations. Last year it was previously at Black Diamond camps. So yeah, that's why we made a switch this year. And then it is going to be June 30th June 30th to July 3rd. Our registration won't open until April of this year. And that's all on our website. We post all our registration information, any updates on there, frequently asked questions, and then just all that information is all on our website. But yeah, registration won't open until April of this year. And then if you are interested in volunteering, parents are more than welcome to join, and as well as anyone that you know that would want to volunteer. my colleague, Kevin, is the one who's in charge of screening all the volunteers and going through all the trainings with them, to make sure that they know what to do in case there's any emergency situations, or just so they get a handle of how to deal with any situation. Since there are kids who are going to be like in their 15, like in their teenage years, so there's adults that are specifically for those groups, and then there's adults for the younger kids. So yeah, we make sure to make it the best possible situation for everyone.
Awesome. What kind of activities do you have at the camp?
So since we are switching it this year, I haven't been there in the past. I'm not really sure what's changing, but in the past we've done rock climbing. It was by a body of water, so they would go rowing. But I'm not sure about this location. And then they do camping, as in like they go outside, they do some bonfires, they go on like little hikes. And then I'm not 100% sure at this location what they have to offer. So that is what that information I don't have, but we do post what activities once we have a better sense of what our schedule is. And then we also do send out like before the camp, we send out what activities to expect and things like that.
Perfect. And I think what we're gonna do is just kind of wait for a little bit down the road, have everybody tell us about their camps, and then if anybody has any questions, if you're okay hanging out for a little bit.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually have to leave in like right at 7, but if
So then why don't we do this? Does anybody have any specific questions related to the epilepsy camp at Camp Discovery? Oh, Annie, do you want to share your experiences with them?
We can give a little review. It was definitely a few years ago. It was pre-pandemic. So I'm sure a few things have changed, but we learned about Camp Discovery through one of the drug reps, actually, who and their company sponsors the camp. And at that time, Jacob was probably about 9 years old. He does have some more limitations in terms of physical capabilities, and so there wasn't as much accessible for him in that regard. And then his dad went with him to be kind of the same sex parent, to stay in the same cabin and be his support. But there were lots of activities that they attended as much as they could. And anything else to add, Matt? Was it fun? Yeah. It was the first and only camping experience, like summer camp experience, that we've had. So we didn't have a whole lot of what to expect. And then pandemic happened, so we haven't done more since then. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here, and glad you're looking at camps again.
it's a great offering, and love that it's free too.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we will let you get going. If we have any follow-up questions, from families, we will send them on to you if that's okay.
Yes, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is on the website, so if you have any questions in regard to camp, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help.
Perfect. And we have the flyer you sent, and that'll be going on our Facebook page and our website for families as well. So
Okay,
thank you so
sounds
much
good.
for all you do.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, so next on my list in no specific order is Outdoors for All. Britt, are you there?
I am here. Let me get my camera on. There we go. Hello.
Hi, Britt. I have to say, I am personally very hopeful that you will move more programs down to the south end.
It's part of our long-term goal to kind of expand south. Nothing as of yet, but our lowest point that we do a pickup from is the Dearborn Goodwill area. And we operate out of Lake Sammamish, which is east, so maybe a little less traffic for down south. But yeah, it's definitely part of the goal.
Yes. I know that still a lot of families, work in Seattle, down in Tacoma and this area. So I figured it was still worth inviting you. And I personally, my kiddo's involved in skiing up the pass with Ski Hawks. So we love you guys and, continue to plan to continue to be a part of that. So I figured the more families we can get skiing and doing stuff like that, the better. So I figured go for it, share it.
All right. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, so we do a youth and also a separate adult camp out of Lake Sammamish and also Magnuson Park. We do a lot of outdoor recreation is kind of our specialty. So we do kayaking, rock climbing, sailing, swimming, hiking, all of that fun stuff. And then we also we have our own vehicles and buses and vans, and we go around the city. So we go to the zoo, the aquarium, lots of playgrounds. So it's definitely a social environment where you get to try out different adaptive sports. I think one of the coolest things that we offer is transportation free of charge at different locations around to kind of help make it a little bit more accessible. And we also offer up to 90% financial aid for folks that need it. So, yeah.
Can you, so other than the camps, do you want to tell us about year-round programming?
Yeah, so we do a lot of year-round programming. Kind of like you mentioned, we do skiing. So we do skiing, snowboarding. We also do a Nordic program at the summit, and we also do Stevens Pass Saturdays, Sundays. So pretty extensive programming, a lot of different options in the winter. And then in the summer, we also do individual programs, which is going to be more of like a skills learning based series. So you sign up and you can do rock climbing, kayaking. We just added stand-up paddleboarding. And I think those are oh, we also have gravel biking. We might be bringing back mountain biking, depends on kind of some ordering of bikes. And then we also partner with different organizations and do group programming. So we'll bring trailers of adaptive bikes out to a different organization or to a park, and we'll partner that way by kind of providing that adaptive experience with a specific group.
So having been involved in the ski program, it's just amazing to me because you work with everyone from, my son was 5 when he started skiing with you to, gosh, I think there's some 50-year-olds in the Special Olympics team. But sit skis, stand skis, snowshoeing, cross country skiing, it's the full gamut. So I highly recommend if you guys have a chance to check out Outdoors for All. They're amazing, and a good majority of it is volunteer run, correct?
Yes.
And yeah, when your son comes home and says, I want Tim to be my ski instructor for every year, you found some good volunteers. So thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody have questions for Outdoors for All?
I don't have a question, but I just want to kind of share my experience. My kiddo attended Camp Lots of Fun in Pierce County last year, and Outdoors for All did bring a trailer of those adaptive bikes to Pierce County for those kids, and it was just an absolute highlight of the week. So even though you don't have specific programming down here, if there are other options for kids in the South Sound area to get exposure to Outdoors for All, and I just want to say thank you for partnering with those local organizations as well.
Yeah, and if you guys know more organizations down there, like I said, we bring our trailers kind of down south a lot. We just don't offer camps. I just sent my email in the chat so you can reach out and I can get you connected with the group programming side of our organization.
I would love to help you with that, Britt, because, obviously we as an organization have some good connections, but I also know that Metro Parks is trying to expand their programming for special needs families. So you might be very vital resource right now. So
yeah, I'd love to connect.
okay, great. Thank you so much for coming. And our next one is Camp Casey.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
My name is Chloe. I am one of the directors of Kiwanis Camp Casey. So just to give you kind of my little spiel, we are a overnight summer camp for children with primarily physical disabilities. We do 1 week in the summer. This summer we're going to be July 28th through August 3rd. And we hold our camp up in Blaine at Lions Camp Horizons. That's the facility that we're using. We used to be in Fort Casey on Whidbey Island, hence the name, but we moved after the pandemic. So we're up in Blaine now and we love it there. So like I said, we offer a completely overnight summer camp. So parents get to drop their kids off with us and we take them for the week. It's really awesome to provide that respite as well as the kids get to experience overnight camp. So kids range in age from 6 all the way up to 17 is when they age out, and a variety of levels of severity, involvement, lots of different equipment going around camp. And we just handle it all. We invite most everybody. Our applications are opening next week, February 14th, and we have kind of a screening process to make sure kids are appropriate for us. But usually once kids start coming, they come back every year until they can't anymore. So we have a really big retention rate, which leads to a really great community. Our campers are best friends. Our counselors are friends with the campers. We have a group for social events after kids age out from camp called the Casey Crew, where they do meetups in Seattle area. So that's been really fun. Our camp is completely volunteer run and organized. So the camp is free for every child and family. And during the week, we do all the usual summer camp things. We do slip and slides and water balloons. We bring in therapy animals from a local organization called Animals as Natural Therapy. Outdoors for All actually comes and brings a trailer to us as well every year. So that's always awesome. We have a dance, a graduation, a talent show. Our days are packed from sunup to sundown pretty much. We do have a staff of nurses that are available 24/7, as well as counselors on duty on the clock 24/7 in the barracks. So should a camper need help in the middle of the night, there's always somebody there to help them. Our barracks captains and upper leadership are folks that have been with us for 6 or 7 years. They know what they're doing and they love the best week of the year at Camp Casey. So we have a really dedicated team, and we're just, excited to hopefully get some new camper faces, especially the littler kids we have lots of room for. So, yeah.
Awesome. And what kind of activities do they do? I'm sorry, you went through some of them, but typical camp activities too, I assume?
Yeah, we have, sports, interest groups, they do cooking. There's drama. We have an improv group, Jet City Improv come. So we do a mix of counselor-led entertainment as well as bringing in other folks as well. A big one is the Contender, which is a big obstacle course that everybody competes in to get the best time through this really cool obstacle course with pool noodles and marshmallows flying through the air, all sorts of crazy stuff. So yeah, and then some free time to just kind of hang out with our friends and play board games or chill. We try and keep in mind the kids' fatigue levels and need for rest, but all of our counselors are trained in transfers, intimate care, all of the stuff that kids might need if they use a wheelchair and need help with bathing, toileting, dressing, all of that kind of stuff. We provide training for all of our counselors leading up to camp so they know what they're doing when they get there. And like I said, our leadership is really experienced, so we have a lot of people on hand to help.
Awesome. And nursing staff on hand as well?
Yes, we have a full team of nurses for the whole week that are on call 24/7 on site with us. And they're not, they're RNs, trained nurses that work in pediatric, usually, Seattle Children's, we get a lot of their nurses that come. So kids with G-tubes we can take, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anybody have questions for Camp Casey?
And I apologize, I didn't get a flyer to you guys yet, but I'm hoping to do that by the end of this weekend or as soon as possible. So I will get that to you.
Perfect. That will still get it up for you.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
If definitely get us that flyer, and we will be also we're recording this and we'll be re-airing it. So hopefully we'll reach even more people. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Bye. I'm gonna share real quick. Camp Horizon had an emergency and they couldn't make our meeting tonight, but they were scheduled to come as well. So I figured I'd take a quick break and read the email that they sent me to share with you guys. Their flyer is going to be in the group that we post. Camp Horizon is celebrating 50 years of camp this year. Our camp is located in Birch Bay, Washington, at an old Air Force base. Campers stay in the bunkhouses that were used by the airmen, and we have a theater building, arts and crafts building, dining hall, and even a 2-lane bowling alley. We offer 5 camping sessions that run Monday through Friday in July and August. Campers of all age are welcome, 12 plus. Let's see. Many campers return year after year to meet up with friends that they have made throughout the years. Our base camps are on site and include all types of activity. Base camp does not include any off-camp field trips, but it doesn't lack fun. In the past, we have had horses on site, tethered hot air balloons, archery, lots of fun around the campfire. We are still working out our on-site activities for this year. Sorry, and we have some really fun ideas in the works. Base Camp offers opportunities for campers of all levels. We have a 1-on-1 to 5-on-1 camper staff base ratio. We do require that the first year campers attend a base camp first, and then they can move on to what we call a venture camp. And those campers get to do a little bit more independent activities. The staff ratio for those are a 5-to-1 or a 4-to-1. Adventure camp includes activities at base camp with additional field trips to Birch Bay State Park, mini golf, golf carts, YMCA rock climbing, guided hikes, and fun adventures. Each camp has a maximum of 55 campers, and they range from $900 to $1,300 for the week. They do have scholarship programs for the camps, and they also do accept DDA funds. And the flyer, like I said, will be in that. We are actually going to try this camp out this year and see how it goes, and see if we like it. So I can't really answer any questions, but that's about that one. So she also has her email included in the flyer. So if anybody does have any questions, and they did have lots of spots still available when I registered my son. So, okay, who do we have? The other one that I wanted to let families know about was Camp Stanley Stam, which is actually through, I'm never gonna find it, the flyer. It's actually through the University of Washington, and there's a flyer in that as well. And the University of Washington puts on a camp for kiddos with medical needs, chronic medical issues. It's 6 through 14. It is fully funded through programs that they have, and there is a flyer with the dates, and it is an overnight camp in Enumclaw, so a little bit closer to us. Do we have Camp Corey? Yes. Do you want to fill us in on your lovely camp now?
Absolutely. And just so you know, STAM camp is through Seattle Children's, not through the
Oh,
UW.
thank you. I couldn't
yeah.
find the flyer and I knew I was sick.
No worries. And they offer 1 week of camp and take about 120 campers for the week, just so you guys know. But it is funded through Children's, and it was started by a doc who worked there forever but has now passed on. So yeah. So anyway, I'm Jen Shaw. I'm the nursing director at Camp Corey. This is Court Smith. She is the camp director program side. So we are a camp for kiddos and their families who deal with chronic and complex medical issues. We do 8 weeks of summer camp. We learned through the pandemic that family summer camp is still a need to the families who aren't quite ready to drop their kiddos off for the week on their own. Either the parent isn't or the kiddo isn't. We also do year-round programming. We do family camps on weekends in the fall and the spring. So we serve children pretty much with any medical diagnosis. The only diagnosis that we don't serve is just kiddos who only have an autism diagnosis, just because we serve about 45 campers at each week of camp right now. We have a 200-acre campus that we are currently growing and hope to one day serve 100 campers a week here. We do all the summer camp things: pool, archery, arts and crafts, rock wall, discovery, which is kind of like science-y type things, horses. We've partnered with Outdoors for All at other summers as well. Am I missing anything?
Wood shop, pottery, Jet City Improv. Bloop. Yeah. Cilio, giant paint fight,
With, yes, water.
Stage night.
Stage night, yep.
talent show.
So I am on site year round as well as all during summer. We hire 4 summer staff nurses right now that will expand as we expand. We have a camp doc on site every week. I take kiddos with severe seizure disorders, intractable epilepsy, trach vented kiddos, G-tubes. We do a week of renal pelvic reconstructive medicine, so bowel programs, cathing, all the things. The summer staff is trained on transfers, wheelchairs. In order to come to camp or only camp, you do have to be able to participate at least parallelly in programming. But that is also why we do 2 weeks of family camp for kiddos who and their families who the kiddo does not participate in programming, but have siblings and parents who could use some respite and filling of their bucket. Yeah, and we are 100% free. We can and will help with transportation. We partner with Angel Flight. We do pickups along the I-5 corridor. We kind of do whatever we need to do to make camp open and accessible to as many kiddos and their families as we can. A lot of the family camp is also about building community with the parents. There is separate camper and parent programming during our weekends so that parents get a chance to connect with other parents who walk a similar path as them, as well as the kiddos. Did I forget anything?
Yeah, no, I think that just to clarify, so our family weekends are in the fall and spring and are for the whole family. This summer we have 8 sessions, 2 are family camp and 6 are camper only camp. So that's that drop off. And then throughout the year we have family day adventures that we go up and down I-5. So as far south as Tacoma and taking over a park down there, and as far north as Bellingham. We do things like the zoo and the aquariums, maybe a thing, and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, lots of fun, lots of very inclusive, intentional programs, and we love what we do, and we have a staff of 25 people year round. So we are doing things all of the time and always free to you guys.
Yep. We are
Awesome.
located in Mount Vernon. Somebody asked in the chat. So we're right off Highway 9, really kind of between Arlington and Mount Vernon, but just up north a little bit.
So many of these camps are all over the place. I wish you guys were all in Tacoma.
Yeah,
That'd be really-
well,
But
the nice thing about Angel Flight is they are a free program that flies campers. They have pilots on a volunteer basis that fly campers from Tacoma to the Mount Vernon airport, and then we go pick them up from there. And those pilots are the sweetest with our campers. So that's a really unique opportunity for us.
well, yeah, and the kids would love it too.
Oh yeah, they feel really cool that they get to come in a plane. And for we've flown a lot of families out of Tacoma, and you just go over to South Hill at that Puyallup Regional Airport. That's where you fly out of. Super convenient. It's like a 15-minute, 20-minute drive from Tacoma. So yeah, works really well.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone, let me switch my view again. Does anyone have any questions for these lovely ladies? It's like crickets.
No worries.
Okay.
It's good, right? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you went
Well,
over it.
and
We all know it.
yeah, our info is on our website, which is campcorey.org, Corey with Korey. And our applications for spring and summer are already open, so folks can start applying anytime.
Awesome. And I think the last one I have is our place.
Right around here.
Is
Okay.
anybody here representing our place? AUR? No.
How about Metro Parks? All right, I think that
Okay.
might be it. We do have flyers for other programs, and I do know that Metro Parks has a new inclusion coordinator, or not new, has expanded their inclusion programming side, and they are trying to get more inclusion camps for this summer. So definitely check them out. Their camps have not come out yet. I believe they're planning on April 1st, if I'm correct. I might be March 15th, somewhere in there. So just to let you know, and that is about all the information I have. So did anybody have any questions for us?
So there were a couple of questions in the chat. One really good one, shout out Bernie, about interpreters. I think particularly probably ASL interpreters at any of the camps. So I don't know if anyone that's still here can answer that. And then also if there's any of the camps for adults.
Yes, to adults for sure. So I'm sorry, camp. Boset is advertises as $7 to $99. So that is definitely for adults. They couldn't make it tonight, but their flyer will be included. And as far as AL interpreters or ASL interpreters, I believe shouldn't have had them go so quick. I believe Camp Corey. Why don't we, Sarah, can you pull up the flyers and just
Yeah.
let's look through the flyers real quick? I think it was Camp Corey that had an ASL week. But I could be really wrong. I've looked at a lot of flyers recently, Priscilla. Yes, camp lots of fun too. You're right.
Yeah, because I remember that one from last year. That one comes up a lot. But I can share my screen and show just kind of
The
this
other
is one for our place.
The other one, Wendy, that I would check into that couldn't make it because of scheduling was Sequoia Therapeutic Rec, they actually have a camp and they are more geared towards the transitional 18 to adulthood. So I think they might have some camps for kiddos. I know that she is working on like actually going to a campsite and camping like in tents and things. So that might be something worth looking into. Okay. That's the Camp Horizon.
Yes.
Can I ask again what the name of that last camp you said was?
It's Sequoia Therapeutic Rec.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cody Smith Doty, who used to be the specialized rec director for Metro Parks, started her own business during COVID, and that's her. So she's really good with the bigger kids or adults, however you want to call them. That's Camp Discovery.
Another one for our place. This is the regular one. I don't know. Did we see it? What we can do is we can also reach back out because not everybody was able to make it tonight. But that is such a great question about interpreters on staff at the camps. So I can definitely send that out as a question and then see if we can maybe like add a little note on their flyer when I compile that all together to post on the website. So we'll definitely follow up with that.
Priscilla, do you want to share your email so we can respond directly back to you in the chat?
Perfect. Thank you, Priscilla. Got your email. Katie, Priscilla's asking, did you have any information about the family camp that CDHY holds? Camp Discovery? No. I'm not sure I understand.
Sorry, the phone's not cooperating with me for the chat. The Center for Deaf and Hard of Hearing Youth, they hold a family camp every year in May, is what my kids' teacher at Baker told me. And it's specifically geared towards deaf and hard of hearing kids, obviously. But I know that they haven't come out with their flyer yet this year. The flyer that's up now is the one from last year.
Okay, so tell us one more time the name of the camp.
They just call it family camp from what I had seen.
And so it's deaf and hard of hearing family camp?
Yeah, it's the Center for Deaf and Hard of Hearing Youth.
Thank you.
And then they just call it family camp. I think like I said, the flyer that's still up is the one from last year's camp, but it doesn't say like whether they take DDA funding. And we only found out about it because my daughter's teacher at Baker, Jen Sego, she her kids volunteer there and they went there and she has deaf kids of her own as well. So
Good to know. We can definitely look into it for you and hopefully find some more resources for that. Cause yeah.
Well, and
I know one of the camps in the flyer, it had a deaf and hard of hearing week. Where they brought in interpreters. I just have to look through the flyers and just remember which one it was. So
yeah, I think the family camp is only like a Friday. So if you do the full camp experience, it's like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But they have like shortened ones that you can only come Saturday and Sunday wanted to, or only come Sunday, but they have like, I guess they have parent classes during the day, and the kids are doing like the archery and the crafts and whatnot.
That's awesome. I love the fact that a lot of these camps are creating a space for families.
Mhm.
Oh, my dyslexic brain is failing right now.
Oh, I do actually see it on their website. Family Camp Spring 2024.
Oh,
I found
can you
it
grab it?
buried. Here we go.
Yay!
There is that. Yes, I know. Family Camp Flyer. Hey, look at that. I can download it. There we go. Yeah, it looks like while we're talking about it, we all can look at it together. Of course,
So,
I'll download this and post it, but yeah.
okay, so it's like they have weekends.
Yeah, so
So
5th, 6th, and
usually
7th.
when you
Mhm.
see this kind of stuff for the weekends, then they have non-family camps during the summer months. So we can definitely reach out and get some, or you can, reach out and get some more information. And Camp Primetime is another great family camp, but usually the way they work is they offer their weeks up to specific organizations. Like um specific groups, like if it's an autism group or a deaf and hard of hearing group, and they host that group for family camp. So you can get on their list as a group, my kids, um, and then go from there. Sarah, I'll be right back.
No worries. Just kind of wrapping this up, seeing if anybody has any other questions. Thank you for the link, Annie. Yeah. And we will get flyers posted out there and get this recording up because I know a lot of people weren't able to make it. And again, thank you all so much for the Zoom meeting ID little snafu. So with that, if there are no other questions, may you all have an amazing evening, and we'll see you here next time. Thanks, everyone.